We have all kinds of behaviors. There's a flip of the ears, there's a stomp of the foot, there's going to be a threat of the hind leg. He's just in a nasty, aggressive mood. So there he came at me again with his ears. He came at me with the left hind leg that time. Yeah, he's definitely not in a good mood today. So I'm just trying to drive him away from me and telling him if he comes with a polite posture, I'm happy to allow him to try to come have a bite of this grain, but he's not going to threaten me for the food. So there he's threatening me again. He came at me with his rib cage, and then his hind end was about to follow. So this is all there. Now, I would be stupid to get any closer to him because he's got his rib cage pointed at me, which then has his hind end. So here he's bringing his shoulder and his rib cage towards me. So I'm going to drive him away and say, don't you threaten me with that. Okay, so let's see what else we have here. I'm trying to just tell him I have some food for him, but he also knows that this has always resulted in me catching him. So for whatever reason, he's decided today he doesn't wish to be caught. Now, if he were to stay approaching me friendly, I would allow it. Okay, now watch the tip of the ear, the stomp of the foot. Okay, now watch here. I reach out to try to hit the snap, and then he flips both his ears back, twists his head at me, showing me the bone above that eye. Then he stomps his front foot. Then he twists his hind leg out at me. And then he puts his ears forward like, did that work? Okay, so he's pleasant here. Then watch, he decides he's going to threaten me instead. So his ears go back, he comes at me with his shoulder, his ribs, and that hind leg. And that's when I tell him he needs to get out of my space. So here, he's like, he doesn't understand the driving energy yet, so he was confused about that. And I just continue to say, you need to go, you've been too aggressive. So then he leaves, and I just drive him a little bit further out to make sure that he does continue on. And then I wait. My goal is to have him just have a pleasant approach. I have no problem with him coming and getting a mouthful of grain, but he is not going to threaten me in the process. So, again, I try to say, would you like some grain? Come here and have some grain. Here he's already swishing his ears. Again, there's another swish of the ears, another swish of the ears, another swish of the ears. There he's showing me his horn. Now he's showing his ribs. And he was about to show me his hind leg, but I caught him in advance to not do that. Now, here he's still showing me, he's threatening me his hip there, but he didn't act up on it. Now here, he is showing me his ribs and his hind end, and he's showing it to me by guarding his own face. Now watch, it didn't get a response out of me, so he's like, oh, you didn't see that threat? Here, let me show it to you again. So give him a second, and he's going to now put that shoulder towards me, right? Very deliberate. Rib cage towards me. So now he's going to come at me in this sideways aggressive type charge position. So I'm telling him, unacceptable. You need to move on. All I'm looking for is for him to have a polite approach. I'm fine with him coming over and getting a bite of grain, but I'm not going to have him threaten me. So here, he seems to have either a bug really biting that hind leg or something's upsetting that hind leg. I think it's just a bug, but because I didn't see him take any lame steps. But now here, watch, he's going to flash his ears in his kind of distaste of the situation. We'll see. So now you watch, he'll flip his ears forward and back, and then I'm like, look, listen, I'm willing to give you a bite, but you have to come and act polite. Ears forward will always get the reward. And there he asked nicely, so I gave him some.